In a significant move that has raised concerns over escalating tensions between the United States and China, reports have emerged confirming the deployment of U.S. Special Operations Forces on Taiwan's frontline islands, just kilometers away from mainland China. This strategic positioning of elite American troops comes amid heightened military activities and rhetoric from both sides over Taiwan's sovereignty and the broader geopolitical struggle for influence in the Asia-Pacific region. According to multiple sources, including Taiwan's Defense Minister, Kuo-cheng, U.S. Army Green Berets have been stationed on the Taiwanese-controlled Kinmen and Penghu Islands, located a mere 10 kilometers from the Chinese city of Xiamen. These islands, which lie along the vital maritime trade routes of the Taiwan Strait, are considered critical for Taiwan's defense against any potential Chinese invasion. The deployment of U.S. Special Forces to these islands marks a significant shift in American military strategy, breaking a long-standing taboo that has existed since the 1950s. Historically, the United States has deliberately excluded Taiwan's offshore islands from its defense commitments due to their proximity to mainland China and the risk of escalating tensions unnecessarily. However, the recent move suggests a renewed urgency on the part of the U.S. to enhance strategic deterrence against China and bolster Taiwan's defensive capabilities in the face of growing Chinese military pressure. The presence of American troops on these islands serves as an unmistakable signal of the U.S.'s commitment to Taiwan's defense and its willingness to redefine the contours of its involvement in the region. According to reports, the U.S. Green Berets will be tasked with training and conducting joint exercises with Taiwan's elite 101st Amphibious Reconnaissance Battalion and Airborne Special Service Company, akin to the U.S. Navy SEALs. This collaboration aims to improve the operational readiness and joint capabilities of Taiwanese forces, enabling them to better respond to potential Chinese aggression. Moreover, the deployment of American Special Operations Forces personnel on these islands could also facilitate critical intelligence gathering and targeting support for U.S. strike platforms in the event of a conflict. If China were to occupy Taiwan, these highly trained special operations units could potentially form the nucleus of an irregular resistance force, inflicting casualties, causing delays, and sowing confusion behind enemy lines. The decision to station U.S. troops on Kinmen and Penghu has undoubtedly raised tensions with China, which has long claimed sovereignty over Taiwan and vehemently opposes any foreign military presence on the island. In response to the news, China has conducted large-scale military drills around Taiwan, simulating a full-scale attack on the island, further heightening concerns of a potential conflict. While the U.S. has maintained that its policy towards Taiwan remains unchanged, the deployment of special forces represents a significant escalation in its support for the island's defense. This move could be perceived by Beijing as a violation of its red line on Taiwan and a direct challenge to its territorial claims, potentially prompting retaliation or further military posturing. Moreover, the presence of American troops in such close proximity to mainland China increases the risk of miscalculation or unintended confrontation, particularly in the absence of open lines of communication between the two militaries. Any incident involving U.S. or Chinese forces in the region could rapidly escalate into a broader conflict, with catastrophic consequences for regional stability and the global economy. Amidst the rising tensions, both the U.S. and China have emphasized the importance of maintaining open lines of communication to prevent miscalculations and unintended conflicts. In recent months, senior officials from both countries have engaged in diplomatic talks aimed at diffusing tensions and discussing efforts to maintain military-to-military communication. The highly anticipated meeting between U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and his Chinese counterpart Dong Jun at the Shangri-La Dialogue in Singapore on May 31, 2024, provided an opportunity for the two military leaders to exchange views and establish a framework for managing their disputes over Taiwan, the South China Sea, and other regional issues. Austin expressed concern about China's military activities, stating, "The PRC should not use Taiwan's political transition, part of a normal, routine democratic process, as a pretext for coercive measures." Lieutenant General Brian Fenton, SOCOM commander, highlighted the strategic importance of these deployments, stating, U.S. special operators need to continue developing and strengthening the partner and ally piece that's a comparative advantage. The goal is to make it harder for Beijing to achieve its goals both in a period of competition and during wartime. Michael Chase, U.S. Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense, reiterated the U.S.'s commitment to operating in the region, saying, "The U.S. would continue to fly, sail, and operate safely and responsibly wherever international law allows." He also emphasized the importance of communication, noting, "Maintaining open lines of military-to-military communication is crucial to prevent competition from veering into conflict." While these talks are unlikely to resolve the fundamental differences between the two nations, they represent a crucial step towards establishing guardrails and reducing the risk of an unintended escalation. Continued diplomacy and dialogue will be essential in navigating the complex geopolitical landscape and finding a path towards a stable and peaceful coexistence in the Asia-Pacific region. As the U.S. and China continue to jockey for influence and assert their strategic interests, the deployment of American special forces near China's shores serves as a stark reminder of the delicate balance of power in the region. While the move may bolster Taiwan's defense capabilities and deter potential Chinese aggression, it also carries significant risks and could further inflame tensions between the two global powers. Ultimately, the path forward will require a delicate combination of military preparedness, diplomatic engagement, and a shared commitment to avoiding a catastrophic conflict that could have far-reaching consequences for the entire world.